Did you know that overlooking just one step in maintaining your LLC could cost you thousands in penalties or even put your personal assets at risk? Well, in this video, I'll walk you through a checklist that will help you avoid these costly mistakes and keep your LLC well maintained and in good standing. Alright guys, let's talk about why keeping your LLC in check is so important. You see, proper maintenance isn't just some boring paperwork. It's what keeps your business legally protected and in good standing with the state. If you slip up, you could be looking at some serious consequences, like hefty fines or even losing that personal asset protection you work so hard for. Now, I've put together this 7-point checklist that's packed with crucial info to keep your LLC safe and compliant. Trust me, this list could save you from some major headaches down the road. So, what's the first thing you need to do to keep your LLC safe and compliant? Now, before we move on, please note that I earn a small commission if you choose to shop through my affiliate links in the description of this video. It doesn't cost you anything extra and it helps me support my channel. And with that in mind, let's dive in and find out. The foundation, operating agreements, and state-specific requirements. Alright, what if I told you that some states have bizarre requirements for LLCs that could cost you thousands if you miss them? Let's explore these quirky rules and the one document that can keep your LLC rock solid no matter where you're based. First up, let's talk about the unsung hero of LLC management, the operating agreement. Now, you might be thinking, do I really need another document? Trust me, this isn't just any piece of paper. An operating agreement is like a roadmap for your business, outlining how it's going to run and who is responsible for what. Here's the thing, not all states require you to have an operating agreement, but that doesn't mean you should skip it. This document is your best defense against internal disputes and legal headaches down the road. It spells out everything from how profits are shared to who makes the big decisions. Without it, you're basically running your business on a handshake and a prayer. Let me give you a real-world example. Say you and your business partner start disagreeing on how to reinvest profits. Without an operating agreement, you could end up in a costly legal battle that drains your resources and puts your whole business at risk. But with a solid agreement in place, you've got clear guidelines to follow, saving you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. Now, let's talk about those state-specific requirements I mentioned earlier. Every state has its own rules for LLCs, and some of them might surprise you. Take New York, for example. If you're starting an LLC there, you've got to publish a notice of formation in 2 newspapers for 6 consecutive weeks after filing your articles of organization. Miss the step, and you could face some serious penalties. This is just one example of why it's crucial to research your state-specific requirements. What's standard in one state might be completely different in another. And trust me, pleading ignorance won't get you off the hook if you miss something important. So, how do you stay on top of all these requirements? This is where professional services can be a game changer. They keep track of all the state-specific rules and deadlines so you don't have to. It's like having a personal assistant for your LLC, making sure you're always in compliance. Now, you might be wondering why all this matters in the grand scheme of things. Well, think of it this way. Your operating agreements and state compliance are the foundation of your LLC. They're what give your business its legal structure and protect you from personal liability. Skimping on these essentials is like building a house without a proper foundation. It might look okay for a while, but eventually things are going to start cracking. By taking care of these crucial steps, you're not just ticking boxes on a checklist. You're setting your business up for long-term success. You're creating a clear structure that can help you avoid conflicts, make decisions more efficiently, and even make your business more attractive to potential investors or buyers down the line. Your LLC's Lifeline, registered agent, and EIN. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about your LLC's Lifeline. Did you know there's a single service that can make or break your business's legal standing? It's not glamorous, but without it, your LLC could be flying blind. I'm talking about your registered agents. And trust me, it's more important than you might think. So, what exactly is a registered agent? Think of them as your LLC's official point of contact with the government. They're the ones who receive all those important legal documents and notices on behalf of your business. We're talking about things like tax notices, compliance documents, and even lawsuits if someone decides to take legal action against your company. Here's the thing, having a registered agent isn't just a nice to have, it's a must have. In fact, it's a legal requirement in every state. And it's not enough to just have any old address listed. Your registered agent needs to have a physical address in the state where your LLC is formed. No PO boxes allowed. But here's where a lot of new business owners slip up. They set up their registered agents when they form their LLCs, and then they forget all about it. Big mistake. You need to keep this information up to date at all times. If your registered agent moves, or if you decide to switch to a different service, you've got to let the state know ASAP. Why is this so crucial? Well, imagine this scenario. Your LLC gets sued, but the lawsuit notice goes to an old address because you forgot to update your registered agent info. You missed the deadline to respond, and boom, you're hit with a default judgment. That could mean thousands of dollars in damages, all because of one little oversight. Now, let's talk about another important thing, your EIN, which stands for Employer Identification Number. Think of this as your LLC's social security number. It's what the IRS uses to identify your business for tax purposes. Now, getting an EIN is a pretty straightforward process, but it's one you can't afford to skip. Without it, you're going to run into all sorts of problems. Want to open a business bank account? You'll need an EIN for that. Planning to hire employees? You guessed it, you'll need an EIN. But the benefits of having EIN go beyond just ticking boxes. It adds an extra layer of separation between you and your business, which is crucial for maintaining that personal asset protection that probably led you to form an LLC in the first place. Here's a pro tip. Once you've got your EIN, use it to open a separate business bank account right away. This is huge for keeping your personal and business finances separate. Trust me, your future self and your accountants will thank you when tax season rolls around. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I get it, registered agent and EIN, but why all the fuss? Well, here's the deal. These two elements work together to keep your LLC organized, compliant, and protected. Your registered agent ensures you never miss important legal notices or deadlines. Your EIN allows you to operate as a legitimate business entity in the eyes of the government and financial institutions. Together, they form a powerful duo that keeps your LLC running smoothly. Navigating the paperwork maze, permits, licenses, and annual reports. Now that you've got your dynamic duo in place, let's talk about the paperwork that could make or break your LLC. Did you know there's one report so crucial that forgetting it could mean the end of your business? I'm talking about the annual report, and it's not something you want to overlook. Most states require LLCs to file these reports either annually or biannually. It might seem like just another piece of paperwork, but trust me, it's way more important than that. Here's the deal. If you fail to file your annual report, you're putting your LLC at risk of being dissolved by the state. That's right, all the hard work you've put into setting up your business could go down the drain just because you forgot to submit a form. But annual reports aren't the only paperwork you need to worry about. Depending on your business type, you might need specific permits and licenses to operate legally. This is where things can get a bit tricky because requirements vary not just by state, but also by industry. For example, if you're running a restaurant, you'll need health permits. If you're in construction, you might need contractor licenses. And if you're selling certain products, you could need special retail permits. The list goes on, and it's different for every business. Now, you might be thinking, can't I just skip these and hope no one notices? Well, let me tell you, that's a gamble you don't want to take. Operating without licenses and permits can result in some serious consequences. We're talking fines, legal action, and even being forced to shut down your business entirely. But here's the good news. Staying on top of these requirements isn't as hard as it might seem. It just takes a bit of organization and proactivity. Think of it as regular maintenance for your LLC. Just like you take your car in for an oil change to keep it running smoothly, you need to keep up with your paperwork to keep your business in good standing. One way to make this easier is to set up reminders for yourself. Mark your calendar for when your annual report is due. Make a checklist of all the permits and licenses you need and their renewal dates. This way, you're not scrambling at the last minute, or worse, forgetting altogether. Another tip is to keep all your paperwork in one place. Whether it's a physical folder or a digital file, having everything organized and easily accessible can save you a lot of headaches down the line. Trust me, you don't want to be digging through piles of paper when you need to quickly reference something. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a lot of work. Is it really worth it? And the answer is a resounding yes. By staying on top of your paperwork, you're not just avoiding penalties. You're protecting your LLC's legal status and ensuring it can continue to operate without interruptions. Think about it this way. All the effort you put into creating your operating agreements, setting up your registered agents, and getting your EIN, it's all for nothing if you let your LLC fall out of compliance. Keeping up with your paperwork is what keeps that protective shield around your personal assets intact. Maximizing benefits, tax strategies, and professional services. Now, let's talk about taking your LLC to the next level. Maintaining compliance is crucial, but it's just the beginning. Did you know that there is a way to structure your LLC that could save you over $6,000 in taxes when your business hits the big leagues? It's a game changer that many entrepreneurs overlook. I'm talking about electing to have your LLC taxed as an S corporation. Now, I know this might sound complicated, but stick with me because it could mean serious savings for your business. Here's the deal. Once your LLC starts generating a net income of around $40,000 to $50,000, this strategy can lead to significant tax savings. So, how does it work? Well, when you elect S corporation status, you can pay yourself a reasonable salary and take additional income as distributions. The catch is that these distributions are only subject to federal income tax, not self-employment taxes. That means you're avoiding that hefty 15.3% self-employment tax on a portion of your income. Let me break it down with a real example. Say your business is making $87,000 annually. By structuring your payments appropriately between salary and distributions, you could save over $6,196 in taxes. That's not chump change, guys. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds great, but how do I even begin to navigate this? Well, that's where professional services come in handy. Companies like Northwest Registered Agents can be a real lifesaver when it comes to managing your LLC and staying compliant. These services offer packages that cover all the bases we've talked about in this video. This includes a full year of registered agent service, free limited mail forwarding, operating agreements, a client account loaded with free forms and tools, and even offer company alerts to keep you in the loop about important deadlines and requirements. Now, you might be wondering if all this is really necessary. Can't you just handle it yourself? Well, sure, you could. But think about the time and stress you'd save by having experts handle these complex issues for you. Not to mention the potential savings you might miss out on if you're not aware of all the strategies available to you. Remember, running a business is about more than just providing a great product or service. It's about making smart financial decisions that allow your business to thrive and grow. By taking advantage of these tax strategies and professional services, you're setting yourself up for long-term success. All right, guys, let's talk about securing your LLC's future. It's not just about setting things up. You've got to stay on top of it. Neglecting your LLC maintenance? That's a recipe for costly mistakes and legal headaches. Trust me, you don't want to go down that road. Now, I know managing an LLC can feel overwhelming. That's why I've given you this 7-point checklist. It's your roadmap to keeping your business safe and compliant. But here's a pro tip. Consider using a professional service like Northwest Registered Agents. They can handle all the nitty-gritty details, giving you peace of mind and more time to focus on growing your business. Don't let simple oversight put your hard work at risk. So, do you want to learn more about how Northwest registered agents can help maintain your LLC? Just click the link to their website in the description of this video. It could be the best decision you make for your business today. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.